welcome. What do people need to know about you to know who you are and your approach to training?
What do people need to know about me is I'm Damaine Benjamin. I'm a Master Athlete, European champion in the 400 meter hurdles in the 35 to 39 age group. And my approach to training is basically I train like a pro athlete, even though I'm not a professional athlete. You know, I train 5 to 6 days a week for a couple of hours a day, and I rest 2 days. That's it.
2 days, how often?
Every week.
Race 2 days every week?
No, rest.
Oh, rest. Okay,
yeah.
not race.
Yeah.
And what does that look like alongside? So, okay, so people need to know, like, sports massage therapist and coach.
Yeah, I'm a sports massage therapist as well, and I'm a SNC coach, along with I do a bit of track coaching as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I normally train in the mornings, and I work in the afternoons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And did you compete at a younger level?
I tried to compete back in high school, back in primary school, but I didn't know my right from my left feet. You know, high school, year 7, this was back in Jamaica. So year 7, year 8, year 9, I always loved, I always enjoyed athletics, but I was never good enough. It's either everyone was weaker than me, or I was just too weak. Then I got to year 11, and I started trying long distance races. If I work out, people would finish cross country like an hour before. You know what I'm saying?
Big gap.
Yeah. Then I started like just waking up early, going for long runs, and I felt like I was getting stronger. But then my dad, I was living with my dad, my mom was here in the UK. In 2006, my dad migrated to America. So I started to live with my dad. And one of my friends was there, we lived in the same community, and that was close to the beach. So every morning before school, we used to go on the beach, and we would do this, I think it's like a 1 mile stretch, so it's the 2 miles every morning on the sun. And that way my calves got bigger, my tendons got stronger, you know. And then I started, before school I used to go to this concrete block factory, and I used to go like pack the blocks up that they made me prime. And I realized I started to get muscles from doing that, you know. And then on weekends I used to like holidays I used to jump on like some construction work sites and all that. I realized I got bigger. And in my final year in school, I think I ran at 200, I ran about 22.6 or something like that. And before that, I was running about 30 seconds. You know, then I was decent at long jump and triple jump, you know. And I went on to university, and I'm like, I'm going to do long and triple jump. Then I realized I want to run, you know, so I tried it for the 400 team, and wasn't really good enough. You know, my first year, training was well. The first couple months, easy training, tempo work and stuff like that. So I thought like, it's easy. But then the real work started now. I started hiding from training, you know, because I didn't know how to deal with lactic acid as the first time I'm feeling that.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to deal with stuff like that. And, you know, because I was one of the fast athletes, that the support was not there for me. You know, so I had to find my own way basically. And fast forward to April 2009. Remember the track season was like not finished, but track meets were limited. Remember the coach, they had a meeting and they said if you have a group of 50 seconds, you can go from this stuff. This time I was on 51. I'm like, I don't want to go home. I want to stay and train today. But then when the other athletes were going pen release and giving me pen release and stuff like that. But I wanted to stay and train. And they said if I stayed and train, I'm not allowed to get any food and stuff like that. So for 2 weeks, I was on the campus on my own. If anything happened to me, no one would have cared. You know? I was eating just breads and buns and drinking water and some juice sometimes. And I was training well. And I wasn't able to use the track when the other athletes were using it. So I used to go at night when the lights were off. And I would train up there. You know, I get my work in. What I realized, I was strong but I was slow. So I started doing a lot of speed work.
Yeah.
And fast forward to June now, you know, around 48 seconds. Back in Jamaica, I never ran 49. First run 49 was when I came to the UK. When I came back into athletics. So I skipped from 51 obviously the first meet, I ran 50 seconds flat as a PB. Then the second meet, I think I messed up the night before, the Friday night, went to a party, got drunk. I lined up with the 400 and I could see the track moving like that. So I was like, this is going to be a write-off. So I jumped to the 200 instead. Then it was night and the lights went out to the stadium and I cut across the track in the 200. I basically running that bit where they have the steeplechase. And I got like 21-4. And those times were recorded because I think because the lights went out. And following week was the last open meet, and I ran 48 seconds. And I packed my stuff up that night and I went to, like, when my uni finished for the summer, I achieved my goal. Then I tried to get scholarships, so I transfer out. Well, I don't think my time to fast enough yet. 21, 7, 48, 8 at a time, work with it. I spent the whole summer training, like every single day. I would be running and doing press-ups and everything. I went back to uni, then I was training, then I remember what they did the year before in the spring, said that I should leave or whatever. So I was like, well, at this level by coaching myself, so I'm going to find a different coach. That's what I did. Find another coach, everything was going well. And I ran fast, first speed on 47. But then what I realized because I wasn't training with the head coach at the unit, I wasn't entitled to any gears. So my unit was sponsored by Adidas. And I wasn't entitled to any gears, I wasn't getting anything. So obviously I get the unit game. That's all, but all the pretty stuff and all that, I wasn't getting anything. I see my roommates and everyone getting stuff. And I wasn't getting anything. So I get one pair of trainers that finished. I have this guy that was like, he always like give athletes who, he always like support. So I told him that I didn't have no trainers and stuff, and he bought me a pair of Puma trainers. And I traded that. And, I started running fast, then little bit of stuff started coming, like one trainers, one spikes, a vest. I never really get the full package. And I think after that was my third year, was that work experience. Didn't run fast. I think I ran like 48 that year. I didn't care anyway because I was like, I'm finally in uni. And I went to, didn't know what to do. I wanted to carry on running, but no one said to me, okay, come back and finish a degree here or join a club. So I went to teach instead. I was teaching PE and some science, and I quit athletics after that. I came to the UK, started missing football. And
so uni was all in Jamaica, was it?
Yeah.
Was it big competition?
Yeah.
It's renowned for obviously making athletes in track and field.
University competition in Jamaica is bigger than box here. When I see them running 46 and winning box, probably I would even medal in Jamaica sometime at uni competitions. See guys here running like 20.9 and winning box, I would even probably win medal. So the uni competition in Jamaica is different. You gotta be to medal in the 100 meters at the uni competition. You have to be running at least 10-3. You know what I'm saying? Or 10-2, 10-1, around that.
Do you think that kind of, I guess, always, I don't want to say pressure, but the fact that you had that kind of, the standing was like that much higher out there, do you reckon that level pushed you to try and make that level? So when you came over here, because then like, okay.
Yeah, I think it did. But when I came here, I felt like, another thing I'm going to say as well, like, I don't know why I talk about it, but my coach, the time, he got me a scholarship, right? To go to Kansas University. And for some reason, everything was going smoothly. And then when it come to the day when I need to go to the embassy to get my visa, and I was messaging the coach in Kansas to send the documents and stuff, he stopped responding. It's like I think years later when I was in the UK, one of my former roommate told me exactly what happened. He's like, he was a coach who Kansas my scholarship, the one in Jamaica. Spoke to the guy in Kansas, basically tell him to call it off. So I felt like athletics turned around. So I quit. And I came over here and I just started playing football. I'm like, who's my speed and scores and goals? And that's what I did. I was playing Sunday league and Saturday football, and that's what I was doing. I was scoring goals. I wasn't like my touch was rubbish. I wasn't skillful, but once I'm gone through, I'm scoring. That's it.
Like you say, oh, he tried to play football for a few
Yeah,
years.
exactly.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Then in 2015, I remember in 2014, I was in my home on a Caribbean team going 140. And I was there, some guys came in. And one of them was like, yo, ask someone if I can bench. I'm like, yeah, I can bench. Wow. He's like, you used to run it? I'm like, yeah. He's like, come and join the clubs. And I went clubs, they were my heart. And I think about it. So I took their number. And I never messaged him. This was August, so they wouldn't start training again like September, October time. So I never messaged him. Because at that time I was just into party, man. And party, girls and all. I didn't care about fitness. You know? Then I remember New Year's Eve, 2015, I was in the club, bought a champagne, man, and I went outside. I'm like, I'm going to be at that this year, you know. Can't let some people see me doing this crap. You know? I said, I'm not going to be the athlete I was, but at least I can do some change in my life. So the next day I ran a guy, and he said that training start like the next week, following week. I went down. And I started training with them. Obviously, they were like a sprint group, but I wanted to forward to. So started with them, and I was, I stuff by myself, but it was hard because I was overweight. I was manually, every time I run, I get like reflux, my chest would burn. Then I heard a couple of weeks in the training, I heard them talking about man, indoor games. And I was like, what's that? It's like indoor game. I was like, I've not done an indoor game before, but I really want that indoor game. So I'm like, I want to try. So like, you've only been training for 2 weeks, and you've been able athletics for like 4 years. I'm like, I don't care, I want to try. I said, I'm going to do the 200, and if I run 24 seconds, I'm not coming back. I ran 23.9, 23.96. So I started training, and then fast forward to June, May or June that year, 2015, they asked me if I can hurdle. Like, I went to a sports unit, so we had to do hurdles in class and that. So I said, I know the basics, but I'm not good at it. So I tried, I said, 40 meter hurdles. I'm like, that's a lot, man. I said, I can't even finish a 40 meter flat right now. So they put me as a leader at a certain league meet, and I beat the area as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I met this guy there, and he went online and I found my times. I run about some of my times that I run in Jamaica, and he said he would go to. So I started training for hurdles. I never done something so hard in my life. And
Why is it so hard? For people that like maybe don't know sort of athletics and sport and whatnot, what makes a 400 meter hurdle so hard?
I think for me, why it was so hard because I was unfit for one. So I basically start from zero again. But the 40 meter hurdles is a hard event, because you have to be fast, you have to be strong, you have to be able, you have to have good coordination as well. And for years I struggled with that. Even now I still struggle with some bits of the event. My 400 time doesn't add up my 4 hurdles because I'm like 5 seconds difference when it should be at least 3. So I run 48 and then I'm struggling to break 54 seconds for the hurdles. So technically I'm not good enough. But I love the event, so I still do it. But I think my personal best is 53. And I think this year I'll be able to break that.
Yeah.
Compared to what I did in the last year when I won the European Masters, I could have gone quicker. But the early 1 and early 10 had a little hiccup. So I know, okay, if I fix those, I'll go faster than 53.
So how long have you been doing it for now, the 400 meter hurdles?
Since 2015, but I had like lots of issues with it. So 2015 was just like 2 races. 2016, I fainted at a British League match.
Oh shit.
Yeah. It was in that Linford Christie Stadium.
Okay.
On in London by Roman Scrubs. So I remember rock up to the British League match, and it was really hot. And it was like spring-side struggle 8 fever. And the match before that was my first proper track meet back after 2011. And I was supposed to be the B runner. This was at Watford. And someone pulled out. So they put me as a hero. And that was pressure, right? I started shaking, man. Like, Chris McAllister, this man trying to make world Olympics even all that. I'm going to race against these, man. I wasn't leading that way. So I ended up running 57, barely jumping around. I was so nervous I couldn't get my legs to move. Then in the 4x4, I ended up like, after that race, the 4 hurdles, I cried a little bit. My coach was like, oh, I trained so hard, and then I come and do this, and he just like, whatever. So the 4x4 went out to redeem myself, and I led off for Arab. And we broke the club record, but we got disqualified anyway, because one of the guys came over the line to the bottom of me. So I kind of redeemed myself that way.
Yeah.
Then second match, running scrubs, hot day, don't know what happened, walking felt good, got the hurdle 5, next thing I'm in the hospital. That's it. I don't know what happened, but I got scared of hurdles from it. They took me that year I didn't hurdle again. Then I started training. I started running plus 40s that year and doing triple jump again. I don't think I done like 38 that year. And I run, I think that's the first time after that field, after I fainted, the first run 49 was a few weeks after I fainted. That's the first run 49 in my life, And didn't hurdle that year, 2017 come around, run a PB in the hurdles, get back in the 48, 24 so things were going well.
Yeah.
Up until lockdown, 2019 was actually my best year. For hurdles, 400, 200, even the 100, around 10.8 and stuff like that. Then lockdown came, out of progress. I was still training in lockdown, then I gave up. I was like, I'm getting older. Nothing happened again. I said, the world is over when I stopped training. I was working from home this time, so the refrigerator was right there. So I just kept eating, kept putting weight on. Then 2021 came around. I was overweight. Got back in the run. And I was running for Harvard these times. And I got injured, put my hamstring, first race, hamstring. And then 2022 came around. We basically told me that 2022 that I'm getting old. Indirectly. Indirectly. Because that year, I struggled a lot. Like chicken pox. I pulled my glute muscle.
Okay.
Yeah, so I couldn't really train much. And every time I run for Harvard, British National League, I finished last, like a far last. And they basically told me I was getting old, man. He didn't say like that, but that's the one he did. Because I'm like, if you're taking a replacement, that means I'm getting old. And I accept that, but I've got more to give.
Yeah.
I was training at Windsor these times. So the coach went there and said, hey, join Windsor. Like, let's do it, man. Join Windsor, the guy that they replaced me with, I beat him the first race out. Because obviously I was back. I'm getting fit again, lost all that weight I put on. And that's when I started working out here, this gym, because prior to that, I used to go to the gym maybe like twice a year or so. So I was training from I got back into athletics in 2015 up until 2023. I was training like, I would go to the gym like twice a year, 3 times a year or something like that. I never liked gym. So when I started doing S&C coaching, I started working out. And I felt like that kind of leveled up my game a little bit.
Do you think the knowledge you acquired through the sort of coaching side of things, that definitely impacted you as an athlete then?
Yeah, because I started learning a lot more about my body. I never took the time out to learn about me as a person, I started coaching others and I see how they improve it. So I was like, why don't I apply the same thing to my training? Started doing that. Then 2023 finished and the group was in Windsor. Some guy in the group we couldn't get on because he fancied some girl. The girl was my friend. And he thought me and the girl was, and we couldn't get on. So I left the group. I went to join another coach, which he was alright, but he troubles a lot. Never around, so we basically coach ourselves. He just set the workout. And after that, after competing at the World Champs in 2024, came back and I spoke to him and I said, this standard is higher than I thought. These men running 46, these old guys basically running 46. I want to be at least 48. If I'm going to be in contention for a medal before I'm going to 48. For the hurdles, I need to be 54 low. And I said, with the program as well, I wasn't recovering. as well. Because he was coaching me as if I was 20, 26 and 36 at the time.
At this point, you entered Masters at this point?
Yeah, this was
Masters,
going for the Masters World Championships, yeah. And he said it's basically a one shoe fit dog. And I said, that's not going to work for me. So I said, no, I'm going to coach myself.
Okay.
He told me I was going to be back by February last year because he's going to get lonely. I'm like, we'll see, you know. And I started coaching myself in October 24. And trust me, it was hard.
Yeah.
I kept getting hit because I kept overtraining.
Yeah.
So I kept getting ill. Then I realized I was getting a little better. You know, the influence started. I told you personal best it was that I said 6 years prior. Then I got into it, pulled my hamstring like a week and a half later. That was a setback. I think that hung over my head for the whole season last year because every time I think about running fast, I think about pulling my hamstring.
Yeah.
But then I got it right at the end of the season, won the Europeans. Even in that final, I was holding back because I thought I was going to pull my hamstring. So, come out of that season injury free, and I just building into the summer. So I think, as I say, coaching here at the track, like, have taught me a lot about myself, my person as an athlete as well. Because now I realize I can't train. I still train because the amount of days I train is like I still train like a pro athlete, but the intensity I'm dropping. You know, the volume. I drop the volume, but the intensity of the intensity.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where I benefit.
That's where I benefit.
Why do you think that is? You think just a low point of view, like recovery?
I think the old they get, you lose speed. You know, so endurance is easy to build. So I train speed basically. Speed and endurance because you can build your endurance from doing speed endurance work. You can build the speed from doing endurance work. Yeah. So rather than doing going to the track and doing 10 300s in the winter, I do 6. Yeah. You know, I do 6. I do them faster. Yeah. So then I find that works for me. And then I started reading a lot more about like stuff that I never cared about. Like periodization, stuff like that. I never really cared about that before. I just trained.
Well, what's periodization for people that need to know?
So it's basically like what our program say I'm gonna be for a race. You know, our program lead up to that. It's basically like really. You know, I still don't understand it fully, but I'm still learning. You know. And that's pretty much the training and competing. You know?
So 10 years going pretty much back and forth, up and down with it. Well, why do you think you kept coming back to it? Why you had a number of setbacks for an array of reasons. Why was it not just either go do something else and not do it at all? What do you reckon kept you going this whole time? Because that's not a short period of time, isn't it?
No, it's not short. I feel like I wasted a lot of years as well. Like time spent. I could have used those times to make money out there trading. You know what I'm saying? But I think for me it's a mental thing as well. You know? Like it's the only time I feel free. Yeah. You know? No matter how many bills I got to pay or whatever, I'll be sitting here right now thinking about I got to pay for this and that. When I'm on the track, I feel free, man. You know? It's the only place I feel like I can escape. So some people go to the gym, some road drink. Yeah. That's my escape route, you know, the track. Yeah. So I spend probably about 8 hours a week on the track. Yeah. Or more.
Can't beat it.
That's my escape. Like, cause no, like people see me posting my videos and things like they think I'm trying to be like a pro athlete or whatever. Yeah, I'm just sharing my knowledge. You know what I'm saying? I'm just doing it for fun. This is just for fun for me because I'm not expecting I'm gonna get like Adidas or Nike contract. I'm nowhere near that right now. You know what I'm saying? That's never gonna happen. Unless maybe when I'm 86 and I'm running, if I can run fast still. Like I put me in a commercial. You never
when
know.
you're retiring. No, you touch on a fair point there because I think obviously that competitive element and doing it for the enjoyment, like that personally, obviously as an individual, that's a massive thing. But when you're at a position where the Masters thing's interesting, so obviously you've got to fund it yourself. They're probably like the competitive comparability to like your normal event isn't quite as high. So it's like you've got to be in it 100%, if not more, to really commit to that.
Yeah.
Is there like a good community around that, like similar people? Do you like know fellow athletes and whatnot?
And when I entered the masters, I didn't know anyone.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know older athletes, like, but most competitions, they were never there, you know. So most times I was alone. So I didn't really know anyone. But the community is nothing like I've experienced before. Everyone is so friendly, welcoming. So I'm saying, so I'm there. I feel like I'm at home.
Yeah.
You know. I even made a post about that, like when I finished the Europeans.
Yeah.
I made a post about just the community. So I'm saying, like, you go to say you're in a South Africa. You see that everyone is so tense and whatever, you know. Then I go to the World Championship Masters, everybody in the car room joking with each other, talking about work, whatever, you know what I'm saying? For us, it's fun.
Yeah.
You know? Even though I still want to beat the guy next to me, we still having a little bit of laugh, you know. And I think that make racing so easy, you know. You don't get nervous. We just see it as, you know, we have a lot of responsibilities. It's just not fun.
Well, this is it. I guess you're all in a very similar position, right?
Yeah.
In the sense that you're all going to have jobs back home and whatnot, and this is something else. You're not full-time athletes at the end of the day, but you're still competing at the top of your sport. And that's common ground to build on, right? Well, what was it like then? Because obviously back on like that 10 years, that long ass time, but then getting that gold medal last year. Well, can you try and put it into words, like the relief that was, like the elation, like what was it you were feeling when you did that?
Honestly, during this 10-year period, I've seen a lot of athletes, both young and old, vanish. So I'm saying athletes that I knew. Some athletes that I thought was going to be big in the game, see them vanish whilst I'm still going, you know. And I got a gold medal, and the first thing I thought about was, we'll get more athletes my business. So I'm saying, like,
Better profit off the back of it.
This is a funny story. When I got the early number 8, I realized I was at the front. And I'm like, I'm still at the front, and that Belgian guy would pass me in. So it's like, if I win this thing, it could be a lot of my business. You know? You know, people thinking about finishing the race, I'm thinking about my business, or I'm going to grow my business. That's what I'm saying. So when I got that gold medal, I'm just like, I look back and all the, like, what I've been through. So I'm saying, all the ups and downs, you know? It's like, I felt like a heavy load lifted off me, you know? And since then, training become easier, mentally, everything's become, even racing, like the last 2 races I did, they were so easy. I didn't even get nervous in any of them. I'm like, I probably did that gold medal all my life, you know? It's my first, like, major medal.
Well, what do you think that is? Is that like a confidence thing? Is like that plays such a massive role?
It's a confidence thing. Because I turn up, I tell myself, I'm the best in Europe in my age group right now. I don't care if that guy was faster time than me. He didn't race me. You know what I'm saying? So I won. I beat who turned up on the day, so I'm the best. You know what I'm saying? That's what I tell myself right now. Even when I'm at training, if I got my last rep, my body's hurting. That's what I tell myself. I say, you didn't become European champion by like bugging out. Yeah, that's it.
Well, there you go, man. There you go. Well, what do you think sort of, what were the your key lessons, if you like? Well, I don't know about lessons, or maybe experiences, maybe from back in Jamaica where like competition was that much higher, that maybe influenced to where we are now, like staying in it for that long. Do you think that kind of stood the test of time and really sort of affected you to now, or is that in the past and this is something new?
I think that's the test of time because, you know, my coach said something to me when I was in uni, my first year. Obviously, I used to follow the senior guy, trying to sneak at the girl down and stuff. And he called me in his office one day and he said he gonna say one thing to me. University teacher to be a woman. You know what I'm saying? I didn't understand what he meant that till later in my life. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was just like, I thought he was gonna tell me if I'm going to the down. Well, he didn't tell me how. Just basically I tell me to make my own decisions. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like not only the athletics, but just be by myself for the first time in university, training, doing everything together. I feel like that's still with me from until now. You know, basically I think to be independent. You know, I think that's still me until now. Even like competing in Jamaica, I was always nervous anyway because everybody was fast. You know, so yeah, I think just able to compete against those guys. I was competing against athletes who go to the Olympics. Here I don't do that much anyway, so I feel like this is easier. So I think this is easier.
Levels to it.
Yeah, there's levels. In my training group, my roommate was a 19-second 20 meter run. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And the other one was like, I think you run 9 seconds after the unit. So I was surrounded by fast people.
Yeah.
So I had to be, I know I wasn't going to get that level, but I had to be like somewhere there.
Yeah.
So I pushed myself.
Yeah. What's the facilities and kind of I don't know, is there like an expectation in Jamaica that like you're expected to just work your ass and get those times, or is it more like people are just fast and it's kind of almost born into you and there's always just an expected level then?
I would say so, because people think that everybody in Jamaica is fast. You get me? That's not the case. Some people work their ass off, some are just born talented. People like Usain Bolt, he was destined for greatness from birth. But then you got another guy, say, Asapa Paul. He was not a big thing in high school, but then he became a sub-10 king, And Usain Bolt was a big kid from the get-go, so there's a difference. So Asapa Paul was fast, don't get me wrong, but he wasn't one of them guys where from high school he was running 10-1 or whatever. Even the athlete like Ishia Thompson, if you watch his projection, he started running fast probably around 2020 to 2021, 22, something I don't remember. But he wasn't in high school, he probably ran around 10-5. While the other guy, Oblique City, was running like lower 10s. So there was a difference. So some people work hard, some people just pure talent. Or somebody like myself, I didn't have no talent. I still don't have no talent. I just work hard.
Yeah, it makes up for it though, doesn't it?
Because in my hard work, beat talent every day, man. If you have talent, you don't work hard, you get no.
No, it's the golfer, isn't it? Montgomery, it's like it's 10% talent, it's 90% work ethic and whatnot. It's so true. It's so true. Well, what about your hamstring injury then? Let's get into that, because I think injuries are always something that people can relate to a lot. I think whatever level of sport you play, like we all have injuries, it's just part of it, right? Well, what was kind of that as an experience? And obviously, were you coming up to races at the time? Was it like a big setback in terms of competing or no?
So, touch wood. Throughout my athletic career, I've never struggled really with a lot of injuries. In Jamaica, I got injured once.
Okay.
Or even though I trained for like, it was only 2.5 years. I trained at a knee center. I pulled my quad, that was it. Then I came here, I think it's the first time I pulled my hamstring was 2019. I was in good shape, and I could have better some of the things that didn't hurt us that year. So the Thursday before, I did a couple runs over, I heard one. My coach is like, that's it, everything's good. Then some guys really bumped it off, they're in 60 meters. And I'm like, I can't beat that. I jumped in, put my hamstring, I didn't tell my coach. I licked it off, walked it off, put my clothes, and I went to got the something close to Bedford. I used to be quick up those times. So I go to Bedford. And one more message my coach and I say, I'm streaking the wow. And I made the finals, but it's not my And so that got better, still run fast that year. But then next injury was my glute. That happened in December 21. It stayed with me up until 2022 summer. After that. Then early 23 was running well. My hip was got a brand new max fly. Came off the benefits only popping my hip. Was another injury setback. I got 2 months. I still could run. I couldn't run around the beds. I started doing 110 hurdles instead of 400 hurdles. Then my hamstring issue in 2025 now. That happened in March. So after the indoor season, run my personal best in 200. I should have taken a week off to deal with that stuff. I didn't do it. I was like, I'm in good shape. Let's keep this going. And I wasn't going to race again until probably like 2 months later. So I could have afforded a deal with me. But wanted to keep that momentum, And since my last run, I pressed I came out to coach myself, so I timed myself on that. So I pressed the button on the stopwatch. I didn't hear it go off, so I looked at it, and then my hips dropped, and I felt something pop in my hamstring. And that was it. took me 6 weeks. You know, like some people, if they got to physio, I said to them, take 6 weeks off, no training. I think I took 2 days off. It happened Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 days. I rested. Monday I was back here working out. Tuesday I was on the track, I did 10 200s late behind the track, doing them in like 40 seconds. I didn't care, I was just lifting. Then Wednesday I was back in the gym. Thursday I was able to run a bit quicker. Then I took Saturday off again. And the following week, I was able to move a bit faster. Then by the week 4, I was back already. Week 6, I raced. Even though like touching it, it's still a little bit there. So as I said earlier, for the whole summer, it over my head.
Yeah.
Like I think he was like, he kind of like an upper confidence a little bit. Because I felt like, yeah, I'm invincible.
Yeah.
They made me realize that I'm invincible.
Yeah.
So now I start, when I'm programming, I make sure there's zero weeks.
Yeah.
So I used to train 6 weeks, just train 6 weeks hard and then take a week off. Now I do 3 weeks hard. I think it was going to be 2 weeks hard. One I would say 85 to 90%. The next one at 70 75%, 70 to 80%. You know. And then I come back and do a test weeks. I make sure that he will be every month.
Yeah. How easy do you find that? Do you find it easy to rest, or like ease off, or?
I feel faster right now. Just by doing that, I feel fresh on everything. You know? Just by having the weeks, I feel much better. I can tell, like, by week 3, I start to feel like fatigue. You know? So week 4 is the week, then week 5, we do a test session. Week 6, so I'm going to week 6 next week, and that would be like probably working around 85, 90%.
Yeah.
And then week 7, take it up to 95.
So you reckon you're feeling the effects of taking that time off in a good way?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
making you want to do it more.
Yeah. Because I'm almost 40 man, so I think dealing with week is important.
What's kind of been the biggest thing that you found that's like worked for you in terms of, I guess, recovery, rest, whatever it is, but just kind of looking after your body and still being able to perform as you get older? Because obviously that's got to be a big consideration for anybody when they're training.
I give a party, man.
Don't party.
I don't party often. Yeah, I have to give a party. Yeah, I did like my night out and stuff. No, I hate it. Yeah, because I'm saying, like, I look at it, I'm like, I'm not missing anything.
Yeah.
You know? The last time I went out, I think it was October 24, when my dad came over to visit.
Yeah.
I think that's the last night I went out, and I was in the pub or whatever we were, I was drinking water.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you drink at all anymore?
Not really. I might have a sip or two. But obviously I was in Jamaica this year, man. It's different vibes, isn't it? So yeah, like, it depends. Like, here, I go home, can't get me to drink.
Yeah.
You know, I go to the clubs, right? If I go to a club, I won't kill. So, I don't know, because I'm saying I really drink, I guess I'm on a holiday or something.
Yeah. Well, I've got a reason to.
So I give up certain things, but there's certain things I'm not giving up. Like ice cream and all that, I ain't giving now.
Well, what's your ice cream of choice then? Go on.
I just like a plain vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, vanilla.
Yeah, that's it. I don't mind that.
Yeah, to be fair, good vanilla ice cream you can't beat, to be fair. You can't beat, to be fair. What would you say, like, obviously as a coach and an athlete there, just like the lasting injuries, I guess, whether it's like as you're getting old or just injuries in general, what's kind of been your biggest thing that you're saying about just alcohol, if it's that, like not missing some things, like is balance, is it just balance at the end of the day? Or?
I would say balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like for me, like my injuries were never down to my age. Yeah, it's just down to my carelessness. You know?
Yeah.
I would leave training and not stretch. I know I should stretch, but I'll be rushing to get the work and stuff. So I finished my last work, rest a little bit, recover my leg from the lactic acid, and I'll put my shoes on and stuff. Rush home, eat, shower, work. You know? So it's just down to my carelessness. Now I start making time to stretch, stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
So prioritize recovery and sleep. I don't get much of that anyway. Because I'll wake up at 3 a.m., I'll go to bed at 11, wake up at 3 a.m., I can't go back to sleep. You know? I just go to the toilet. I can't go back to sleep, I just lay there doing nothing. Like last night, I woke up at 3:45, I didn't go back to sleep. I was running like the race I did yesterday. I was running back in my head, I was thinking like, how can I improve that?
Yeah.
So I'm saying, so I'm thinking about random stuff, I should be sleeping, you know?
Yeah, but I think a lot of people can probably get that. I mean, it's easily done, right? Easily done. Well, what's kind of like the sports massage side of things been like? Because that's obviously quite focused on sort of just looking after your body on like a basic level. You learn a lot from that, and then maybe how to apply it to yourself.
Yeah. I say with the sports massage thing, I first got into it when I was back in Jamaica. I received my first sports massage in uni. I ended up liking it. You know, like this is good, man. Like I felt so free at training. Even though it was painful as hell, but I enjoyed it, and I was like, I want to do this. You know, started the course. And no, I think it made me being an athlete and a massage therapist. Like it made me a better massage therapist, not even a better athlete, a better therapist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
The results that I get, you know, I'm not your regular sports massage therapist that goes to just a quick massage.
Yeah.
You know, like you come to me, do all the assessments, do all that, you know, and use my experience as an athlete and interest about the treat and apply that to treat my clients. So most clients that come to me, it's mainly like back, shoulders, you know, hamstrings, all that struggle stuff like that. And similar stuff I do to like teach myself basically apply to my treatments. So I think being an athlete made me a better therapist.
Oh, interesting. So the other way around rather than one to the other. Do you have like a niche as like your coaching sort of business or massaging?
Massages, not really a niche as anyone. I want to feel pain just come through.
Yeah. Simple as that.
Yeah, when the coaching, my niche is sprints.
Yeah.
More 400.
Okay.
More 400 please. You know, people ask me questions about what to be, I tell them I don't know anything about that. You know, I don't really want to talk about touch something I don't really. You know, it's a sprint, but you know, I'm not good with the blocks and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I stick to like speed endurance type stuff. You know, and so I say my niche is more 400 please.
Is there a lot of young people trying to get into that sort of thing or no?
Online, yeah.
Online, really?
Yeah. Because I see there's a lot of like athletes / influencers, like young athletes and stuff. Yeah, you can check their Instagram, like millions of followers, thousands of followers. Yeah. Just because they post want to get faster than basically that. You buy into it. They got people like myself, not me, you know, because I know somebody thinks it's crap. Because they're not posting, they're not selling their workout like the coaches give them, they're making up random stuff and selling it to people. And people, because they are saying 19-second or 20-second runner, people will buy it. So I'm saying, it doesn't even know if it will work. So rather than buy a guy program like me who put a lot of time and effort to get to know them before I do the program, they rather go buy somebody from that athlete because he's a 20-second runner.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, so yeah, there's a lot of athletes out there doing online coaching. I think they want to know what people coach.
What about people just trying to get into like 400 metres as a sport though? Like, are you finding like you get like young clients? Is it like older people who are running in clubs already? Or
Yeah.
Who do you tend to coach?
At the moment, I've got online. I've got different age groups. So my youngest one that I'm dealing with 16 at the moment. She lives in Australia.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And then I recently signed a kid in America. I think he's in high school still. And then the oldest one I've got at the moment is 56. Yeah.
For 400 metres?
Yeah.
Right. Is he competing or is he just doing it?
He's still competing in the Masters.
Oh,
He's still competing in the Masters. The track we are coaching now, just like in the 20s, early 20s. Just three guys, early 20s. Two 400 ones. The other guy's an American footballer, but he wants to get to America for to play American football. So I said to him, like, the talent pool in America for football is high. So try the sprints. So if you can run say 10-6, you can get into a B2 school or a junior college and then play good football that way. So that's what he's doing, you know. Obviously, I'm not really a 100 meter coach, but he's a 100 meter runner. I think we're making some strides.
Yeah. Do you find it differ in terms of how you have to coach people for the same distance but who are at different ages? Like, the technique's the same, or is it kind of, you got to obviously manage the load for older people and whatnot?
It's just the the mindset below.
Mm.
So, for example, for you and me, we'll be doing, so we have a session where it's 5 300s. You younger than me, so you do 5 but mine is faster.
Yeah.
You know, so you like, so you're gonna run at say 90%, I run at 95%. You know, that's it. And I take a little bit longer recovery. So I give you 6 minutes, I give myself 10. You know, if I can work with it. You know, a lot of older athletes as well. What maybe at some point they understand. They think, okay, I'm running at 400, I get to 120 and I'm dying. I need to run more 600s, I need to run more 5Ks. Actually, I need to do more speed work. Because running at a pace that they can't keep. They can't keep up with it. So they think like they're dying in the home straight is they need more endurance, but they need more speed reserve. They need speed reserve. You know, and that's where I started posting a lot about that on my Instagram, and that's how a lot of people start following me and start asking for tips and so on for the PA. You know, yes, that's it really.
Oh, interesting. What about the whole obviously amateur athlete thing that we try and speak to and try and speak to people who kind of fit into that gap? But well, I guess first off, how would you say you fit into the amateur athlete category?
Well, I don't get paid for one. You know, so obviously amateurs don't get paid. So I don't get paid, but I fund everything.
Yeah.
You know, everything's self-funded. I'm a self-funded athlete. So yeah, I don't compete at professional athletes. So I think that's what I think to a amateur athlete.
Yeah. How easy is that? Do you find it? I mean, I've seen you've had a few sort of deals with like brands and getting gear and whatnot.
Yeah.
Is it like alright to cover costs for these kind of bigger events where you have to compete at like European level and whatnot, or is it a hefty fork out?
So I recently in partnership with Pampa Sports, and I would say them supplying me with gears, and I can save a bit of money. You know, and that would go not necessarily towards my athletics, really, go towards my opening. You know, but the Europeans, with the Europeans last year, I ended up had to do a GoFundMe. You know, because I couldn't fund it myself.
Yeah.
You know, it was too much. I said, if I want to go, I have to do a GoFundMe. You know, and that's what I did. I didn't want to at first, because I think like you might see that's begging.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you know what, let's give it a go and see if it works out. And I was surprised, I was shocked how many people like supported the journey.
Yeah.
So that's when I always realized I had to win. You know.
And you did.
I did, yeah.
It was worth it.
Yeah, but I say the brands coming on board was giving me some free stuff. Yes, it do a lot for me. You know, I can end up saving a little bit of money. Gear is expensive, man.
Yeah.
I wish I could get a shoe contract, that's what I would do.
That will come next. But so how does it work then for like self-funded masters athletes? I was doing a bit of reading and how some athletes will get like a tiny bit of prize money from their federations, or they might get like travel costs covered, but from what I understand, everybody's just like paying their way.
Yeah, we are period. You know, when back in 2024, I heard a rumor that if we break some records, we get some money from British Masters. Maybe it was just a rumor. We broke the record. Let's see that money, so I'm guessing it was just a rumor. Yeah. So, yeah, we don't get anything. We don't get anything reimbursed, no travel costs, nothing.
Do you think that affects kind of the I guess the standard of competition, because you're more reliant on people that can afford to rather than necessarily the best? Yeah.
Because how many people want to leave work and travel to Portugal to stay for 2 weeks?
Yeah.
You know? Versus they're self-employed. So I'm saying, and they look like that, they're losing money. You know, where they can just stay and compete here and get better races. You know? So yeah, I think it's the cost why the athletes don't enter. Like countries like Saudi Arabia, they pay for everything. They probably pay the athletes the most.
Yeah. In the masters category.
Yeah. Because 2024 you raised the Asian record world of 400 meters.
Okay.
You want the 400 meters.
Yeah.
So he's a professional athlete still. I don't know if he's still now, but he's our age and that. But not many, you don't see many like past Olympians and stuff competing in masters like that.
No.
I feel like a lot of them are skilled anyway.
Skiing.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Because like people are like, okay, like, if I can't get paid to do it, I'm not going to.
It's not even that. I think what I say is someone who's scared, like, you know, you have this, say for example, you, yeah, when you're a young athlete, you're running like say 50 seconds. All of a sudden, you hit the 30s, you start running 47. And that's exactly what's happening in Masters.
Yeah.
You got guys that when they were younger, they were running 49s, 40, 50 point. I know, they're running fast.
Yeah.
So a lot of ex-pro athletes, they don't want to come and get beat by guys like that. They want to
yeah. Oh, interesting. What, like because the standard's always improving as certain people get older?
Yeah, the standard is improving. 2024 was the fastest 40 meter finals in the Masters history, in the M25 category. I think 7 of us went under 50 seconds. Only the guy that finished last, I think he were 50.9 or something like that. So it was the fastest 40 meter final in the Masters.
Why do you think that is? Is there just more knowledge? Is there like more high caliber athletes looking to compete at Masters level?
I think so. You know, the ones that can afford it, yeah, are who's good.
Yeah. That's interesting.
When I got into Masters, I thought it was easy.
Yeah.
You know? Then I got to the World Championships. I made the finals. Obviously, I did see some of the guys on Instagram, like, it's not going to be easy, but, you know, got to the finals in the hurdles. I finished 5th. Then I finished 7th in the 400s, and I'm like, I need to up my game. Yeah, these men aren't playing.
Yeah, I don't know, it's interesting because on the website for the World Masters, it's like anybody and everybody can come. Like, you just get some people that are like, it sounds bad, but are just rubbish or terribly slow.
Oh, yeah.
They can afford to be there.
Yeah. They can afford to be there, that's why they're there.
Yeah. What's the qualification process like
There's
then?
none.
There isn't at all.
There is none at all. You know, as you say, it's who can afford it.
Yeah.
You know? So I'll turn up there in my heats at the World Champs. You know, I'll go in running 49 seconds. The slowest guy was running like 1 minute. Yeah, so.
Big gap there.
Yeah, so, but you can afford it. So
Yeah. And is it just, do you just like break down for those people through the heats? Like, what if you've got too many people looking to go? Do you have any, I don't know, do you have to qualify back in your national country for anything or no?
No, I feel like they should have like a qualifying standard. But then they should have like defeat the purpose of Masters games. They say it will become too serious basically.
Yeah. They want it to be a more sort of welcoming atmosphere,
Yeah.
I guess. Okay, interesting. Okay. Well, what fuels you now then? Because 400 meter medal back in October, like what are you looking ahead to? What's kind of fueling you towards that?
I want to be a legend.
Easier said than done, that one.
But what fuels me now is basically family and business. I just want to become better, man. I got 2 boys. I wanted to see them dad actually doing something. You know, I wanted to look up to them. I want myself to be their role model. I don't want to look at another guy and say, he's my role model. That's what I'm saying. I want to be their role model. You know, they look at me and like, okay, my dad is this age and he's doing this. So if I start, no, I can do that. I can do better. See what I'm saying? You know, that's what I want to do. So I say it's purely family.
No, I love that. Do you want them to get into running athletics?
I would love to.
Yeah.
I would love to. My oldest one is 11 this year, but he's not really interested in athletics. You know, he said he's not interested, but you know, I'm not forcing him.
Yeah.
My younger one, he might be, who knows? He's going to be 3 this year, but I'm not forcing any of them to do it.
Yeah.
You know, whatever they decide to do, just going to like, so we'll be the best at it.
Yeah.
I can still run the game like me.
No, for sure. And what's the next big race? What you got coming up on the calendar?
Well, there's a World Championships in South Korea this year. I would love to do that, but financially, it's not really possible right now.
Yeah.
Because South Korea is across the next level. So I would love to do it. I'd love to. Because even though coming off the back of that win in October, I'd love to race in America. So, you know, I know they must have some good for hurdlers way by a country that's not in Europe. So I'm saying, I know I'll get better race at the at the World Championships. But financially, it's looking peak. Yeah, we'll see. Anything can happen up on that.
Well, what are the options for kind of sponsorship at the Masters level? Do you get any athletes? Like, I know you're not from by that nature, like the countries. But will brands sort of sponsor masters levels athlete, or does that just not really happen?
I think you gotta be active. You gotta be active on Instagram, man. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
You have to be active on Instagram. Whatever level you are as an athlete, if you want brands to look at you, you have to be active on Instagram. And that's why I started posting every day.
Yeah.
You know? Because after I won the Europeans, I did message a few small brands.
Yeah.
They told me I needed more followers.
Okay.
Yeah. At the time I had like 2,000 followers, this was back in October. And one of the brands told me I needed 5,000 minimum for you to look at me.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I need a year at 5,000. I got to 7,000 in December. I'm like, hey, I'm not even going to message them again.
Too big for that.
It's not too big for them. I was like, I'm a hold out, keep growing my Instagram.
Yeah.
Someone will buy it.
Yeah,
So I'm saying,
try and get something a bit more organic.
Yeah.
I like it.
And then like Campus Sports, they keep calling it.
Yeah.
I accepted it. I like the vision. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I accepted it, and yeah, it's looking, future looks good. You know?
Yeah, mate, more to come, hopefully, more to come. Okay, I guess like the final thing I wanted to touch on was just discipline, because I think we kind of mentioned before we started recording, but keeping competing at basically what is the top level as you get older. Like, what is it that keeps you motivated or disciplined, whatever it is, because they're obviously two quite conflicting things, but what keeps you showing up here every day? What keeps you going to the track every day? Like, what is it that's like, even though I am getting on,
Yeah.
I want to keep doing this, I want to keep competing, I want to keep racing.
The nice thing is when people see me, I say I'm 30, they're like, oh, I'm 38. That's why I keep coming back here.
Yeah.
That's funny, that says lactic acid lower the chance of you dying young and stuff like that. So I'm gonna keep feeling lactic acid. I'm gonna keep building it up. But yeah, I think for me, it's just that I don't like to lose it.
Yeah.
You know? Or if I only train 2 days a week, I would never compete.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't compete because I'm like, if I'm not prepared to win, I'm not going to that start line.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pointless me training 2 times a week and then rocking up. I see people do it. You know?
Yeah.
And then they lose and say, oh, you want to train 2 days a week? That's an excuse, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or not have an excuse
Yeah.
and compete. If I can't get at least 4 days training in, I won't compete.
Yeah.
It's pointless.
Yeah.
I want to be turn on the start line and be on best. So I think wanting to win, you know, is what keeps me coming back here. It's not just only wanting to win in athletics, I want to win in life.
Yeah.
You know? And I feel like to win in life, you have to be physically fit, physically and mentally.
Yeah.
So I'm saying.
Feeds into other areas of life, definitely.
Because even like simple thing like driving, when you're physically fit, you're switched on it. I see people, I'm driving, I see people make so many mistakes on the road. And you look at them and you can see that they don't know from exercise at all.
Yeah.
So their brain is slow, man. You know? And I feel like that helped me. I make like not even just on the track, like in life, you can make quick decisions.
Yeah.
If I wasn't training, probably would have crashed so many times.
Keeps you a better driver.
So yeah, that's what I want to win on the track. I want to win life. So that's what keeps me coming back here, man.
There you go.
Listen, I drive 40 minutes, 3 days a week to come here to do the workout. And listen, gyms, closer gyms.
Yeah.
Well, I like this place.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
There you go. Okay, last thing is a question from Carl Matthews, who was the last person we recorded with.
Yeah.
And the question he's left you was, if you could do anything, what would you do? If you could, so he ran the perimeter of the UK.
Yeah.
If you could do that, would you do it? If you could start a podcast, would you do it? If you could do anything, what would it be?
If I could do anything, what would it be? Open a restaurant.
A restaurant?
Yeah.
What sort of restaurant?
Caribbean food, innit?
Okay.
Yeah. Like, if I had the money to do it, I would have opened a restaurant. Yeah. Like, a restaurant with a bar and like a room for basically like a little dance room or something like that. Yeah, I would love that.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I like that. Hey, one day, mate. Never know. Okay, what about a question you want to leave for the next guest?
For the next guest,
Yeah.
basically what keeps them motivated, what keeps them doing what they're doing.
Okay, yeah.
That's
Right.
it.
Well, Damien, European 400 metre gold medalist. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, off, man.
Appreciate it.